hello, Monk. Thanks for stopping in. Let me get switched over here. How big are you guys? You are over here, so I need to make you guys a little bit bigger. Alright, there we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, do that and I'll capture you. Yeah, we got Sadie on the channel tonight, so I will have to find a way. Let me do this then, because I can put JMEX up without your profile picture. I'll move over to the other side here, and then yep, there we go. Whoops. Okay. I need to make you full screen, Zadie. Nope, that wasn't it. There it is. Hey, got it. Her old one was kind of a placeholder for her until she could get this one. I have to make use. Okay, that'll work. All right, so welcome in, everybody. Sorry about that. First time having a guest, we had to get things switched around a little bit to accommodate a guest. So, my usual setup of just me and then JMX Discord reactive image doesn't really work when we have a guest on. So I hadn't figured out exactly how to do that yet. So, but yes, hello, good evening, everybody. Of course, I am Soji Sakata. This is Aurora de Mercedes, and JMech, as always, with us. So we got 3 things we can cover tonight. 2 things are kind of the ones we want to focus on. The third is if we have time, we can talk about it. Of course, the last time we had one of these podcasts was before the Daytona 500. So we have 3 weeks worth of NASCAR news to cover, which is pretty interesting what's happened in the series so far. And then, of course, we also have F1. Yes, now JMX kind of the expert here on the F1 races because I am unable to watch them. I do not have F1 TV, so I am. Oh boy! I set on my headset remote, so I watch my volume just like spike to 90 when it's at 30. I'm like, oh boy! Don't sit on your remotes, kids. It's not a good idea. So, but yeah, so I mean, if we want, we could start. Since Sadie's here, we can start with the F1 stuff. I know that Sadie's more well versed in F1 than she is NASCAR. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Sadie. Please do inform me on this because I have not kept up with F1 this year like I wanted to. Mostly because I've been trying to learn as much as I can about NASCAR, being that I'm actually going to a race in person. So F1 is very much foreign to me this year. Like I didn't know Aston Martin was a thing now. I didn't. Oh, have they been around for a couple years now? Huh. Uh, d- Alpine and McLaren. Hey, Roa, welcome in. We got Sadie as a guest tonight. Welcome into the podcast, Roa. Thanks for stopping in. I love his new June emote. It's adorable. But please continue, J-Mac. You were talking about the F1 season this year and the testing and stuff. You have my attention. Oh, God. Yes, they are. I'm sorry. Okay. All they've been able to hear is me. I'm stupid.
Oh.
Let's go for the recap
Yeah,
on that one.
everyone else was muted. Thank you, Roa. I'm stupid. I'm a rookie streamer. Oh, no. Yeah,
That's fine. We're all
mistakes
rookies
have
here,
been made
technically.
here. Mistakes have been made. All you guys missed, we were talking about F1, and we're going to be covering F1 and NASCAR and maybe the auto show I went to. And J-Mac had listed off the teams. If you want to list them off again, I think that's really all we missed.
Yeah, that's really what we just talked about. So the teams are, let me get them up. Yeah, Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, McLaren, Williams, AlphaTauri, Ferrari, Mercedes, Alpine, Haas, and Red Bull.
Yep. Each of which has 2 drivers.
Each has 2 drivers. I do not want to list all of them because that will take too long.
No.
But yeah.
Your main players are going to be Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, probably Fernando Alonso at this point now.
And Charles Leclerc.
And
Charles
Leclerc. Yeah.
Thanks for the 1,000 bits cruise again. Seriously?
Hey,
Stop.
Okay.
Sadie getting the bits tonight. Nice.
Yes. So yeah, our top drivers that we have are Max Verstappen, Red Bull Racing, Sergio Perez, also Red Bull Racing, but surprisingly, Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin car. He was insane tonight, which I don't even know.
I watched the clips of that race. Alonso
Yes.
was making some seriously crazy overtakes. And then he would
Yeah,
actually be able to hold the position. It was really cool.
The pacing this year is what this is the thing that blows my mind, right? This is the thing that blows my mind. Here's the gauge of it. Stroll does not usually make Q3. He does not.
Neither does Nico Hulkenberg.
Yeah, what I was surprised by was seeing a Ferrari have an engine failure, and then I don't know what happened to the Alpine and the McLaren that were a no contest, but the Ferrari's engine failure, I don't know what happened there, but that car just shut down on him.
Right. I could summary that in a technical aspect. Ferrari has really has been having bad gremlins on their
Gremlins.
their MGU-H unit for their engines. It has been very iffy since the start of the new chassis era.
Oh, okay. So Ferrari has some reliability problems then.
Yes. They're fast, but they have reliability issues.
Interesting.
It's the fact that it's either they're fast or they have reliability issues, or they're fast or they have team issues.
Huh.
Pick your poison.
Yeah.
Red Bull has a fast engine and good driver, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, they,
like a normal. Arpac literally commented, "It's like a normal Ferrari."
I mean, not wrong.
I guess things never change, huh?
But yeah, Red Bull was a strong showing in their first race because they had Max Verstappen at P1 and Perez at P2, and they both.
Yep.
I mean, that's 2 of the top 3 podium spots are held by one team, whereas you look at a team like Mercedes, who went 5th and 7th, which I mean not horrible, but they were a powerhouse a few years back, and now they're kind of middle of the top of the pack there, which it's all right, but. I mean, 10 points and 6 points versus 25 and 18.
They're still trying to get their own gremlins. Their cars are reliable, yeah, but the issue lies on their rake package and their aero package recently.
Mm-hmm.
So reliable but hard to work on. Also like a real Mercedes. I'm seeing a trend here.
I mean, Red Bull, you can quickly buy it, drink it, and you get energy.
So here's the problem.
Red Bull does give you wings.
Here's the problem. Run by Ford engine.
In the Mercedes?
Red Bull.
Oh, Red Bull's got a Ford engine in it?
Yes.
No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. It's still
2026.
Honda. It's still Honda.
It's still
Right? I
Honda.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, that explains everything. It's a Honda. It'll never run. It's no wonder they never have engine failures.
Last season.
Really?
Yeah, last season at the same track they had a double DNF.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
now we need all the alphas just to die on the side of the track for seemingly no reason. I mean, they got close.
No.
They got
You,
close.
for the alphas to be appropriate, they would have to die on their way to the grid. They'll break down on the way to the start line.
God. Oh god.
All right, the F1 race is going to be delayed. We have to get the wrecker out and tow the alphas back to the garage. They did not make the grid. Both of them up in smoke in turn 1.
Alfa Romeo. I mean, there's two different alphas. We got Alpha, ALPH.
No.
The-
ALFA. Just
So
ALFA.
the remember the clothing brand is also using the Honda engine. So
Really?
Yeah.
The only bad thing about that is back to the driver highlights of the day. Just for some odd reason, just to comment back on you, Soji, is the fact that we're gonna go ahead and just like steamroll on this topic. Is what the hell happened to McLaren?
McLaren.
Yeah.
You had a big downfall in 2022.
Yeah, they
An
had.
even bigger one this season.
Yeah, that's not good with considering Lando Norris, which is the driver I know better of their two, finished dead last of any car running, and
Piastri,
Oscar
technically.
Pistori, the driver I'm not familiar
Piastri.
with.
Piastri.
What is it?
Piastri.
Oh,
not
Piastri,
Pistori,
my bad.
Piastri, yeah.
I read
But,
that wrong, but yeah, he didn't even finish. He was a no contest as well.
Yeah.
Because the
So-
three that
They
didn't
had a
finish today were
hydraulic
Leclerc, Ocon, and Piastri, and none of them even crossed the finish line.
Yeah.
This is what I have concerns with, is because of the fact that
I used to be a McLaren fan, but ever since like
Eesh.
Ricardo left McLaren, I've sort of like stopped liking them. And to be honest, I was actually a bit happy that one of the McLarens DNF'd.
So
just to show like how good of a maintenance driver Ricardo actually is, really.
I mean, yes, the car didn't suit him last season, but at least he did
Finished.
as good as he can. He finished.
okay,
Exactly.
can I ask a question here?
Yes.
Mhm.
Alpine, I know, took over for Renault.
Yes.
The two teams I see missing are Force India and the Toro Rosso.
Toro Rosso.
Also, AlphaTauri, Force India's Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because I'm like, I remembered the names of these teams from the F1 game I have, 2017 or 18, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I
2017.
don't see, like, Ferrari, Mercedes, of course, those two never really change. Alpha never changes, Williams, Haas. But I'm like, where are these other two that I recognize? I knew Alpha or Renault got taken over by Alpine, because that's pretty much just their performance house anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
So that made sense to me, but I'm like, Force India. I'm like, and the Toro Rosso, which I honestly, I kind of like the fact that Toro Rosso was taken over by somebody with a different name, because now I don't have a confusion as to which team is the Red Bull. Because
I mean, I missed the
Lawrence
Toro
Stroll.
Rosso.
Lawrence Stroll was the reason why Aston Martin was the thing.
No,
bought-
he's talking about
because
Toro Rosso
there was
to,
Red Bull and Toro
Alpha
Rosso,
Honestly,
which is just Red Bull in Spanish, and it's like that was-
Italian.
or Italian. My bad. That's really I don't speak other languages, so I was guessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I was like. That was always really irritating, because I'm like, it's Red Bull versus Red Bull, and they're not the same
Technically.
team. That's confusing as hell. Like,
So yeah, so I was gonna say like AlphaTauri, it would make sense because Toro Rosso is just, their drinking brand back at Italy. So I guess they just don't want to confuse both teams. Right, I remember this. The reason why Toro Rosso existed today was because of the fact that Toro Rosso existed back in 2005 before they folded into like another team from Jaguar, out of all things,
Yep.
into Red Bull. So
And
Yeah.
Toro Rosso back in the day, now AlphaTauri, used to be a minority back in the day, like early 2000s.
Right.
Really?
So let's not steer the topic a little too far.
Yeah.
We're still gonna talk about like whatever
Race.
happened in the bottom grid,
Hmm.
and it's still confusing to me. Like, so you said Ocon, Piastri, Norris, and who's
Uh,
the other one?
Leclerc.
Leclerc. No, Leclerc was on the top until they had engine issues. We
Yeah.
already know that he had engine issues, but I'm talking about the running order, kind of bottom
Hmm.
order.
Oh yeah, then the other
On
one
like
was
qualifying,
Zhao Ganyu for Alfa
Guan Yu.
Romeo.
Guan Yu, Zhou Guan Yu.
Zhou Ganyu. Okay, my
Yeah.
bad. I was guessing again.
He's a good driver. He just didn't have like a good race this time.
Okay.
He still had the fastest lap.
Did he
Yeah, that's
really?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
fastest lap.
Fastest lap of the Grand Prix, but finished second to last in the runs that are still running. That's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just didn't have a good race.
Well, I mean, technically he was penalized a couple of times, and then he still had to have like a couple of wing maintenance and all that.
Uh,
Poor
yeah.
bottom. Like you said on the grid, poor Lando was only like on the 17th on running. He finished the race, and here's the reason why I would say that. And I usually just have this really weird thing that I'm just saying is that maybe he's just there to collect data from here because honestly this car is going to be running almost like 2010 McLaren.
Yeah.
When they shifted that red black theme, and it's just really bad.
Their car is not good this year, is what you're saying?
It's not good.
Oof.
Hmm.
That hurts.
A couple of highlights that I could notify as well. Nico Hulkenberg coming back to Haas was a cool thing.
Yeah, but now, yeah, now that we realized he was literally P15.
The entire race.
Yeah, I don't have a good feeling about Haas this season.
Yeah,
Well, it's
say
not
with
as
the 13th
controversial.
and 15th,
That is
that's not
true.
exactly
Well,
a
again,
confidence inspiring start.
midfield.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, no,
You
it's not horrible, but it's like it's not. Okay, if they were running up around the 8 to 12 area, I'd be like, all right, with a little more tweaking, but they got a little. We'll have to see how they do in the next race. Of course, this is only one race, but off the start, I'm going, I don't know yet.
yeah.
The one who surprised me, who was so high up, um, where was he at here? Oh boy, I might have to sneeze. Dang it.
Take your time.
There it was.
That's good.
Ow, it
There
cracked
it
my
is.
back.
Oh,
That was a good sneeze if you crack your back doing it.
Hey,
Oh, there he is. Yeah, Yuki Tsunoda. I've never heard of this guy, and he finished 11th.
Oh, he's been in the Formula One paddock since 2020.
yeah.
Oh, really?
This is his third season in the sport, which is, yeah, he's a decent driver.
I say the other one I've not heard of is Logan Sargent for Williams.
He's our first
Yes,
American
American
boy. Our first
Since
American
2015.
boy.
Oh,
Since 2015.
I am on the official F1 website right now. He is the only driver on the grid that is not given the distinction of a flag on his driver card.
Huh?
I didn't
But
know
he's
that because of
American,
that.
isn't he?
I don't know if he is or not. The website doesn't tell me. Yes, he is. U.S.
Yeah,
but they
US.
won't put the U.S. flag on it. 'Cause,
Weird.
like even
I see
like
it.
Yuki Tsunoda, that's clearly now it's the wrong color. Oh, it's forcing dark mode. That's why it's messing with everything. I'm on
Ugh.
Opera and it's forcing dark mode on this page.
Yeah, but Japanese, yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm on Chrome, and
'Cause, like-
Sergeant's displaying America on my end.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe,
it's fine.
maybe it's my browser then, because I'm like he's the only one. All the other flags are discolored wrong, but they're
He was
there.
born on
His
the
is
last-
missing.
He was born on the last day of 2001.
Seriously.
December 31st, 2001. 31-12-2001.
That's
Or
crazy.
12-31-2001.
He
Yeah,
is
22 years old.
That
Yeah.
is crazy young to me for being an F1. I'm 26, and it's like, yeah, I'm just happy to make my rent every month.
Well, you gotta start young, right? People that
Yep.
start go karting back at like when they were 6 years old, and they
Yeah.
could push a professional driving
Exactly.
field.
Why do you think I'm getting into it now? Like, come
All
on.
right,
Next Tony
all right,
Stewart.
please. We're gonna go ahead and push down the bracket again.
Yeah.
Nick DeVries.
Kind of disappointing for me, at least.
I mean, at least he showed up on it's the sister team for Red
Red Bull.
Bull. But again, this is AlphaTauri we're talking about.
Hmm.
This is gonna be like midfield packers. Um, Now we got most of them out of the way. Yuki
Yeah.
Tsunoda had a couple of highlights trying to battle Alex Albon within the sunset laps of the race.
Yep. Yet
However,
wasn't able to.
he wasn't able to capitalize on that because Albon,
That
this
Williams.
okay.
That's
So
pace.
no. So here's the reason, right? Albon. It's not just the Williams, right? Have you ever seen Albon's driving style during like when he was in Red Bull?
No.
No, God,
I
no,
mean,
this is classic Albon. He will block the ever living crap out of you,
that is true.
even
Really?
if you race him in Sims, because he still does. He still races in Sims. He still races like R Factor or iRacing.
Mhm.
You'll see him. You'll
I
see him
s-
tonight probably if
uh,
you have iRacing.
There's a lot of them actually who do that. Today's
Yeah.
today's NASCAR winner, William Byron, does that a lot too.
Yep.
Yeah. Out of this entire list, just to go off tangent here, the people that usually go on iRacing is Russell, Albon, Norris,
Charles.
and Leclerc and Piastri. Those are the only 5 people.
A lot
Charles,
of
not anymore.
a lot of the younger
Max
guys.
sorta, but yeah. But like I said, Albon is such a phenomenal driver, just pushing that Williams as far as he can, and
Yep.
I love the ever living crap out of that.
I say he made it all the way to P10 with the Williams, which I know in past is not necessarily the strongest of cars.
Apparently, the last time there was an American driver in the grid was Scott Speed in 2009, and only in 2009.
What about
Scott Speed
2015?
raced F1.
Scott
Yes.
Speed raced F1.
Dude,
Yes.
Scott
Back at
Speed
Red
raced
Bull,
in
back when-
NASCAR too.
Yeah, I was about
back
to
in
say.
Red Bull.
And I actually have his autograph, I think, in my closet from when
Yeah,
I went
nice.
to World ARX.
Back at Red Bull, Scott Speed was one of the first drivers in Red Bull before he got replaced by Vettel,
Yep.
Huh.
which is unfortunate, but
That's because
Vettel is a better driver.
well, Vettel isn't even in the sport anymore. He retired.
Yeah, he retired.
Ouch.
That's
Don't bring that up.
that's
please.
ridiculous. That is
But we're just gonna
I
go on a tangent here, but that's just bringing it up back on the last American driver in the grid. Again, Logan Sargent, really good debut. 12th place is not that bad
especially
Yeah.
for your first ever race in an F1 car like that. That's pretty good.
on a Williams.
In a Williams as well, yeah. I'll be curious because I want to see how he does
No.
now this year.
There was another American F1 driver.
2015.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Yeah, Alexander Rossi.
Rossi was American?
Rossi is no. Hang on, 2015. Was it Will Stevens?
No. He
No,
joined
yeah,
the-
Alexander Rossi. Yeah, he was in Marussia.
Yeah.
Huh.
Huh.
I knew there was another one.
All right, so yeah, Mac actually got Mac made a good point. Midfield in a Williams on their debut GP is indeed a pretty good result.
Yeah, that's
Very
not
good.
bad at all. And what is it? This is actually cool. I'm reading a headline right now. It's the first time an American F1 driver and an American team have raced during the same season in Formula One.
Right, Williams is now owned by Doralton Capital, which
Yeah.
is based in New York.
Well,
So,
isn't okay? Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Haas an American F1 team?
Haas is
Yeah.
an American F1 team, but there's no Americans on it.
Oh no, but
Yeah.
it's at least American owned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Gene
I
Haas.
thought so.
The same guys who own actually the Stewart Haas Racing, actually.
Huh.
Right.
Oh yeah, that actually makes sense. Haas and Haas.
Yeah.
Just two different divisions of the same like.
Name.
Yeah, Because I'm sure
Hey.
there's no overlap in like Tony Stewart working with Haas F1. I don't think that's happening.
No. Tony Stewart Haas F1. I'd love to see that.
You've got freaking what's his name who runs the I forget his name. He's in the 14 Stewart's old car now. You got Tony and his team in there working on a stock car. You flip over to the other side of the garage and they're working on the F1 cars for the year.
Right, so I forgot about this one.
How sick
too.
of a garage would that be though?
By the way,
Yeah.
this is the weird part. Just in the coming years on the next the 2026 era. I forgot Cadillac and GM is actually going into F1.
Oh
Next-
yeah.
2026.
I forgot about that because Cadillac's going in, and wasn't there somebody else who was going in as well?
Audi?
What?
Was it Audi as well?
Audi is all going in, but no. Audi is going into F1, but GM is going into F1 with their engine being sponsored by Andretti. Yeah, Andretti Motorsport.
Andretti, that's it. But
Yeah.
they're the one doing F1, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
they're the one doing Cadillac, aren't they?
Yeah, they're the ones doing Cadillac.
That'll be interesting because most of the current F1 teams don't want them in because that'd mean 22 cars on the grid, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Mhm.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. I heard that and I'm like, that's interesting to me.
And then, right, so let's climb up the ladder a little further.
Yep.
Pierre Gasly. This is normal for him. This is
Yeah.
normal for him. This is his normal day.
Ninth,
Yeah, this is his normal day.
just a normal. I think that's the same kind of thing for like George Russell in a 7th place finish, right?
No, normally he's in 6th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just one place below.
One place,
He's always
it's
top
close
6.
enough.
He's supposed to be Mr. Consistent. He's supposed to
Yep.
be always top 6.
No, top 5. It was always top 5 last season.
Yeah,
Huh.
he's always top 5. But this is a little different now.
Well, maybe it'll be top 7s all year then.
Yeah, because unless of course here's the problem. Now there's 4 people that are fighting for top spot. And this is why I usually say this. And we're gonna go a little further up because one driver does not belong on the top 6 here normally, and that's Mr. Lance Stroll.
I was gonna say Lance Stroll. 'Cause that's the name I usually see down towards like 10th or 12th when I was checking on it.
Yeah, he just had a good race today. And plus, he was racing while he was injured because he was in a bike accident like 12 days before. And it's
His left pinky toe,
Yeah.
managing the clutch, and also his right wrist. He was literally using his palm to push the steering wheel.
Mhm.
Well, heck, somebody ought to tell Chase Elliott to just shake off that broken tibia and get back in. Then if the Lance Stroll can do it.
That's different.
I know, I'm kidding.
I guess you could say, "Oh God, Mac, no!" No,
More
he
bad.
made a joke. He made a joke. He said, "I guess you could say he strolled up the grid."
Oh, no. That sucked.
I hate to say this about a joke about strolling, but we kind of walked into that one.
No, come on. It could have been worse. You could have said we strolled into it.
Well, no, because
Okay,
nobody says
so-
that. That's not a phrase.
All right, so Valtteri Bottas.
Yeah,
Again, normal session for him at this point.
I
Yep.
remember him being a what the heck?
Mercedes boy.
Yeah, I remember when he was with Mercedes and
He was shafted.
Yep.
Big time.
yeah, pretty much because he was with Lewis and pretty much they just took
Number
care of
2 driver.
Lewis. Yeah,
Number 2 driver.
he was definitely the number 2. You could tell because they did not take care of him
Valtteri,
from what I
it's
can tell.
James. I still remember that. Valtteri, it's James.
You gotta let Lewis through.
Yep.
That's
Team orders.
yeah. That's the one
That
thing
team ordered that we're living hell out of.
I love the fact that NASCAR doesn't really do that much. They'll help each other out and they'll work together, but look, if 2 teammates are racing for the win, they're going to let them race just with the idea of don't take each other out, idiots. Like race each other clean, let the winner walk away, Don't wreck each other just to get the win here. But outside of that, go for it. That's the one thing I hate about F1 is the whole like team orders stuff about it like that. It drives me nuts.
They're hopefully they'll eliminate that on 2026 because honestly, like team orders, yeah, they're a thing, but like it wasn't prevalent back then in the mid 90s when fucking Hill was a thing.
Yeah.
Hill and Villeneuve were fighting each other most of the time, and it was mostly clean.
And they were teammates at that time, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought so.
So
Right.
both of them end up winning for World Drivers Championship, right?
Yeah.
So it could be like that again in 2026. I hope. Let's see, jumping it up, Russell. Again, this is not his normal spot. It should be top 5, but
So not a perfect day, but decent still.
hey, Barrichello and Schumacher. Right. Going back to the team orders, Barrichello and Schumacher didn't really have any team orders. They raced clean too.
And that's the kind of racing I like. Is it's like, well, okay, what was it? Formula Drift. They have teams there as well. And at one point, the two RTR Mustang guys had to go against each other. So one of them was guaranteed to be eliminated. And rather than well, let's let whoever
Ruin
gets
each other's lines.
yeah, or let's let the one who's got the better chance of beating this person go through. No, they just absolutely lit it up and gave us a battle for the ages to the point of like everybody, even the announcer Jared Deando was like, that was awesome. That's what
Yes.
that should be about. Like, there were no punches pulled. There were no, oh, well, I'll back down. We'll be nice. Let's not bust each other's cars up. I mean, they were seriously door to door, wheel to wheel, centimeters off of each other, laying down massive runs. And it was awesome to watch. And they're like, folks, if you came for drifting and that doesn't satisfy you, just go home because that's as good as it gets. And I'm like, I loved that they did that because I'm like, that was cool.
I recall there's been some controversy years back about Ferrari ordering one of their drivers to back off and let their star driver win. Well, I think that's it's not Barrichello era. I think
was.
at that point
It was.
Irvine era.
Oh,
It was
Irvine, yeah.
era.
Irvine, yeah.
It was like 1999.
Oh, I
In
can go.
1997, it was fine.
I can go
Oh, well-
earlier than that with a team that wasn't even in F1 who still screwed their driver over that way. Ford. Ken Miles.
Oh boy, the
I
three-way
watched-
finish.
I watched the Ford versus Ferrari movie and that pissed me off so bad. I'm like, and I know that's the actual true events, and I'm like, oh, that sucks so bad for him. Like,
Yeah,
that's
understandable.
that movie is the reason I hate team orders so much, because I saw that and I'm like, why? Why do you people have to do that? Let the fastest driver win. Like, just let him go out, let it all hang out, push it to the limit, and just see who comes out. When you get to victory lane, you're gonna know. Let it be.
Yeah,
like-
that's what I was gonna say. Like, most of the drivers nowadays are being disingenuous. Like, most of the teams nowadays, they're being disingenuous with each other's drivers because everyone's just thirsting for that point.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to justify whether you wanna push the driver further that's in front, or do you want to actually just let the faster driver through? That's the moral point, because like teams want the points, but drivers want the trophy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, so.
Well, that's
Do you want to force them to race, or do you want to force them to just pass each other?
yeah, and that's what sucks about it is it's like, okay, I get if they're coming up if it's a clean battle and they're even with each other, and they're putting down basically the same lap times, all right, yeah, let them fight. If one's clearly faster than the other and it's like, hey, dude, he's blowing your doors off, get out of his way, okay, I get that. But when they're close, fight it out. That's the whole point of racing. If you didn't have to fight for your position, it'd be called driving.
Fernando is faster than you. Fernando is faster than you.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I mean- That's the
if
only
it's
time I think team orders is good.
yeah,
Like,
because
Yeah.
if they're legitimately faster, like 2 seconds a lap, yeah, no, you gotta let
Oh,
them through.
yeah, get out of their way and let them drive. You don't want to hold up your teammate. But when it's okay, when you're both in a similar position, you know, you're both on the same
Again,
kind of pit cycles and you come out next to each other and you're both putting down lap times and fighting for that
you
position,
you
fight
eye him
for it.
you eye at him in the face and just nod and just race your life away. That's what it is.
Yeah,
You
that's
nod him with respect and just race, because otherwise it's like gerrymandering.
pretty much, yeah.
Fuck.
It's the racing equivalent of Congress red tape and that drives me nuts.
All right, should we move up?
Yeah, sure. Going up to the next. That's where Lance Stroll, Lewis, and Carlos are at in 6, 5, and 4.
Yeah, I mean that's the same. That's why they should deserve to be.
And I'm
Nothing
surprised.
really we should talk.
I was surprised to see Lewis down that far, but I know the Merc this year isn't as good. I did hear that. So seeing Lewis being the highest finishing Mercedes behind the clearly strong Aston Martins, at least one of them, the Red Bulls, which have been basically on crack for 2 years, and one of the Ferraris that was running good anyways, that's not as surprising to me.
So here's
He
the
did
thing.
well with a shit car.
I'm going to say this right now. I think Red Bull's cheating. I think Red Bull's cheating.
Now that
If you notice the gap between second and third, look at the gap between second and third.
The
That's 26 seconds
26 seconds.
from second to third.
Holy crap! That
I
is
mean-
insane.
remember, there's a huge difference between an Aston Martin and a Red Bull. Think about it.
But the thing is, if Red Bull passed the Ferrari, and
Jesus.
no, if an Aston Martin passed the Ferrari and the Aston Martin was able to get 10 seconds off of him, there's something wrong here.
Oh wow! Because
Perez is not that bad of a
Anybody-
driver,
there
but
were
Alonso's much more experienced.
there
As
were
a champion.
only 11 cars on the lead lap. What?
Yeah.
Because yeah, the where was it at? Logan Sargent, the American, was the first one. He only did 56 of the 57 laps. He finished it one lap down. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally 1 hour 33 minutes. Sergio Perez, 11.9 seconds behind him, and then Fernando Alonso, 38.6 seconds behind Max Verstappen. That is crazy. What was
Yuki
it?
almost got lapped. Yuki almost got lapped, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I
But-
say Yuki would have been really close to that at 90 seconds. He was a
But, yeah,
minute and a
I'm-
half behind. That's insane.
But like I said, though, I'm just saying within the top six battling it out, at least there's now 4 constructors that are duking it out for. Well, 3 constructors are duking it out, hopefully, for midfield. But if not for the fact that each of these 4 constructors are probably fighting for the top now, because of the fact that, hey, Alonso figured something out that Vettel did. That's a huge note.
That's
in my
true.
book.
Yeah, because Alonso, I mean, he drove that Aston like crazy. Like I said, I watched the video and I'm like, holy crap, dude. You're driving the absolute snot out of that car. It was really impressive.
130 on free practice. Not free practice. Yeah, free practice too. 130.
Jeez. That's quick.
I have yet to see what the potential of that.
Yeah,
car is.
the fastest lap time was a 133.996.
On
And then-
race.
What?
On racing. 133.996.
Yeah. And then that was because that was Zhao.
Joe.
My bad. I keep reading that wrong. That's weird. Yeah, that's ridiculous. His average speed 207.276. Second fastest lap, Pierre Gasly with a 135.0. Zhou's fastest lap time was 1.1 seconds faster than anybody else. Because it's 135.0, 135.8, 136.0, 136.1, 2, 3, everybody else is in the 136s until you get down to Esteban Ocon. No, Carlos Sainz, 137.1. Where's Verstappen at? Verstappen only had the sixth best lap time at 136.2. So that was a full.
Because he's just extremely consistent. That's the problem.
No, I know, but that's wild that he was that much faster on one lap. He was a full 2.4 seconds faster on his fastest lap than Verstappen was on his fastest lap. That's freaking crazy.
I'm gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be hilarious if the oldest driver was trying to challenge in contestation with the youngest, one of the youngest champions.
Yeah. All right, moving up. Fernando fucking Alonso.
Hey,
What?
He's just talking about that earlier. I'm just saying he's the oldest driver in the grid, and he's still doing. Okay, he has a funny radio comment. I'm gonna let you know right now, J-Mac. Funniest radio comment ever. Hey, 60's the new 40.
Yes, I loved that. And another one I loved was the car feels great, because in 2018 he said, this is what he said. I don't. What did he say in 2018? I have no brakes. I have no tires. We're
No
out
brakes,
to the
no
points.
tires.
We're out to the points.
Out to the points.
At this point, I don't care too much. And literally, in 2017, he deemed that McLaren GP2 engine, GP2, which is basically our modern day F2.
Yeah, GP2 engine. Here's the thing about like at least Fernando now knows what a good car is. Let's be real here.
Finally.
Holy shit, man!
I'm trying to look this quote up right now. No,
What
all of these are his positive quotes. I want the one he's crappy about.
Search up GP2 engine. I think it was 2016 or 2017. If I find it, I'll send it to you.
Fernando Alonso he's well versed about racing. Right now he's rocking the double crown. He has double crown right now. He won Le Mans. He won F1.
Now just needs the Indy 500.
Yeah, now he just needs the Indy 500. About a parallel on that, really. 41 years old and still kicking.
Yeah.
That's an accomplishment.
Yes.
He's officially the oldest driver in the grid. Older than Raikkonen in his retirement. Older than Vettel in his retirement.
So he's the oldest driver in F1 history, then.
To stick around? Probably. Who's the oldest driver in
And he did P3. That's impressive.
Yes. He was competitive all day.
That's wild.
No. Well, okay, so oldest drivers to complete an F1 journey. If there's one that's really familiar off of the bat. So the oldest past one, and this is some historical pundit, was in 6th place. Was Luis Chiron.
Mm-hmm. But Fernando Alonso has the most F1 starts ever, so that's total entries. 6 more than Kimi Räikkönen.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
And total starts, way more than Kimi Räikkönen. A full 7 more. And then Max Verstappen, the youngest.
Huh.
All right, Luis Chiron, the Formula One driver, was named was named to the Bugatti Chiron. Huh, interesting. But
cool.
yeah, it's just I don't know what Fernando's on, man. I wish he could actually win this year. Not gonna lie, I wanted to win this year.
I want him to get that championship.
That's funny. I've never heard of this GP2 comment.
GP2 engine is like a really.
It sounds like a very memeable thing.
It is. It is.
It was very memeable.
And then, of course, we
Right.
have, let's say,
Perez.
above him, we have Perez and Verstappen, who have both
The
been,
top 2 Red Bulls, so.
the last
We don't
couple
really-
of
we don't
years,
really
they've
say
been
any.
perennial chart toppers, I believe.
and there's nowhere to go on that, on their accolades, because Perez already sealed himself up as if Verstappen fails, and
Yep.
if Perez, then it's just
They
his
they both seem highly skilled and quality drivers with a pretty solid car
they
under
can
them.
cross check. But yeah, it's just um right. So I'm going to say this in the terms of racing highlights, in the middle of racing highlights.
Uh-huh.
What can I say about racing highlights right now? We already covered whatever happened to Lando Norris,
Charles Leclerc's engine,
Charles Leclerc's engine.
Yep. Talked about that too.
Alonso's insane P3.
Yeah.
Fighting George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. Well, he didn't really fight Lewis Hamilton, didn't he?
Can I
Because
say,
No, not
Hamilton
really.
did it.
can I say how much I loved his over/under passes that he was doing, where he was swinging wide and
Yes.
shallow? It reminded me very much of the kind of crap that a dirt racing driver in like a sprint car would pull, because that's
Yep.
exactly how they pass on the dirt tracks. They'll swing high and low. They literally call it an over/under on the dirt tracks. Um, and that's
He's-
how they'll pass each other, is doing that.
he's-
So I loved
he's-
seeing that in F1.
He's so smooth when he
Yes.
does it too. It's like he can make two sharp corners into one. That's how stupid it is.
That is true.
Oh
He's-
god.
He's just that guy.
Yeah. I'm gonna be partial about this right now, and there's gonna be another highlight that was not really underlooked here.
Uh-huh.
How the fuck did Albon defend Yuki Tsunoda the entire 10 laps?
The Williams is not a bad car. You guys need to accept that Williams is no longer a bottom team. They're like 6th or 5th in the entire grid.
Which is weird to think about, but yeah, they kind of are mid-level, because the ones that seem to be the new cellar dwellers are, McLaren.
McLaren.
Definitely.
Yeah, literally.
The AlphaTauris are probably 7th or 8th. Haas is probably down in the 7, 8, 9 area. And if Ferrari can keep an engine in it, they're not. But maybe Alpha is going to be down there a little bit as well. Of course, you have Valtteri, who was 8th, and their other driver, who was 16th. And it's like, that's kind of a disparity. It's hard to judge them there.
At that
Yeah.
point, really, let's let the cards decide on the fate within the next few races, because
Yeah.
up to the next 2 weeks, Saudi Arabia is coming up.
Yep.
Jeddah Corniche is going to be a thing, and
More info would be very useful for this. One race is not always very telling of the entire story of a season.
it normally
Yes.
doesn't. However, Jeddah Corniche is a pretty bland circuit. And let's just give it a preview before I only got about 6 minutes left to stream here on my end.
Okay.
But I'm gonna leave it to interpretation. One of the weird course layouts out there is curvy straights that you could DRS, which doesn't really make sense.
Huh.
Tight corners, tight chicanes, not a lot of overtaking corners, not a lot of tech corners. It's just whoever gets the pole position will win this track, unless of course.
What is this track?
Jeddah Corniche.
It's Jeddah, I think we just call it.
Yeah, Jeddah. Yeah, Jeddah. It's
Jeddah,
next week.
Jeddah,
Yeah, next
Saudi
week.
Arabia.
Yeah, next 2 weeks.
Oh, okay,
Um,
that's why.
Yeah, you look at the track, right? It's just, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's too, it's too skinny.
What
It's,
the? What
Yeah.
kind of? I'm looking at an image of this track right now. How high were they designing that? That's
Blame the city.
terrible.
It's all the city. It's all the city. It's
Yeah.
the city that designed this, not. It's no one's design. It's the city. It's that.
Yep.
Those are public roads. Those are all public roads.
Where's the
Mhm.
start finish at?
Near turn 27, on the top of the wider corner is. On the
Oh
right.
wow!
Yep.
So you got the red. I'm looking at this. So I've got a map pulled up of it. That's a weird looking track.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very bizarre. I see why you guys maybe don't care much for that track. Oh, I see a overlay of somebody took a Google image and it looks like F1 actually probably did it. It was a like Google Earth view of it where they superimposed the track over the city, and it's like the coast roads out right next to the ocean. They say it's
Yeah,
the
well,
fastest F1 circuit ever.
no, I thought the fastest F1 circuit ever was Baku.
This one says that's according to the F1 official website. First look, fastest ever. Oh, it's the F1 fastest street circuit.
Yeah. I was about to say.
That's gonna change to Vegas now.
Yep.
Probably, yeah.
Average speed on Vegas they did its simulation was 212 miles an hour.
God.
That's
I mean top speed.
that's
Not
faster.
average, but
That's
speed.
faster than it was today, because the fastest time today was 207, or fastest
Yeah.
speed average speed today was 207. That's wild.
Vegas, yep. Anyway, guys, I gotta go for the night. Since we
Alright.
already covered most of what we could discuss about Formula One, I'm gonna leave you guys up to discuss the rest of the Formula One without me. Since we already discussed most of it, hopefully we already covered some of it. But let's just wait till next year, our next race. But hard predictions within the next 3 minutes.
I would say probably Red Bull still at the top. Lewis and Mercedes probably working on getting back up towards the podium. Um, Ferrari probably having another engine failure, and Alonso continuing to surprise us.
How about you, J-Mac?
I mean, hopefully the Aston Martin gets a little bit better, because what Aston Martin's doing right now is insane.
Clinical, yeah.
They're going to have to get a lot better to catch up the 20-some seconds to Red Bull.
Yeah.
I'm just
Personally,
saying.
I don't think Red Bull is cheating. I think it's sort of. I mean, remember Mercedes back in like 2016 to 2019? They were dominant.
Yeah, I think
So I have
just,
a feeling.
I think
it's
they are
Red
just
Bull.
seriously locked in on it.
Yep. And my prediction is hopefully Ferrari would at least have a decent race. That's
Yeah.
all I'm hoping.
Yeah, see
All right.
have a decent one.
All right, guys. I need to go, and I'm going to send you the crowd, Soji, and I will see you, all right?
Hey, thanks, Sadie. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming
Right.
on.
All right. Later.
See ya.
See it.
Hey, yep, there's your raid. Hello, Sadie. Thank you very much for sending me your viewers. Whoops, hey, that's not JMX. There we go. Thank you so much. Hello, Raiders. I know you guys were listening in, so thank you for sending them over my way, Sadie. Much appreciated. Jimmick, well, you still have a couple minutes. Do you want to talk about what we've missed in NASCAR the past few days before we call it a night here?
I mean, I didn't watch this NASCAR race because I was too busy with F1.
Well, we haven't talked about Daytona or Auto Club either.
All right, I mean Daytona. Let's talk about it.
Daytona was awesome. I got to watch the whole race. It surprised
Yes, I
me
did.
that they ran too wide. I'm used to old school, two-car freight train racing from back in my day when I watched. So watching them drive in more packs and stuff was interesting.
Yeah.
Pastrana, surprisingly good in a cup car.
Yep.
Would have finished, I think he actually did get a top 10, despite everything.
Mm-hmm.
He got dumped at the end. I'm still not over it. I'm trying to think of what
Yeah.
else. And the fact that Ricky Stenhouse wins for his one team or his one car team owner,
Mhm.
and ends his drought, which was awesome. I thought that was cool to watch that happen.
Yep.
Anything? Oh, and several big crashes, including 2 overtime attempts at Daytona, which was awesome to watch. That made for great TV.
Yes. And it felt good, so that because we didn't get Kyle Busch as the winner, because I dislike Kyle Busch.
Same here. I was actually hoping. I have finally picked the drivers that I like. The 12
Yeah,
of Ryan
Blaney.
Blaney. The 21 of Harrison Burton.
Yep, Wood Brothers Racing.
Yep. And then, the more I learn about Ross Chastain, it's hard not to like the kid. He's
Yeah,
super cool and kind of just old. He's
exactly.
just super down to earth. I love that. So
Yep.
definitely rooting for Chastain as well in the future. And my buddy likes Truex Jr., so I always pull for Truex Jr. a little bit.
Yep.
I was also happy to see Ty Gibbs struggle here today, and actually in general the last couple races.
Yep. Same here.
Not a Ty Gibbs fan. He's a little bit stuck up in my opinion. He seems like a well, my daddy
Daddy's
owns the race
trash.
team, so
Yep. Grandpa, technically.
yeah. Now the Auto Club, that was a different story. Of course, the last race on the 2 mile circuit. And it was kind of weird. They had a lot of debris that actually chewed up the bodywork of the cars to the point where Chris Buescher's entire splitter was almost disintegrated after the race.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, Kyle Busch won it.
Yeah, and it was really a quiet race though, unlike Daytona.
Yeah.
Only that one big wreck, which was caused, I think, by Ty Gibbs spinning his tires a little bit and causing the entire pack to bunch up upon start on the after the one small caution. There were
Yeah.
there were several little spinouts, but only one real big wreck that whole time.
Yeah. And Logano still putting in good results.
He did well, yeah. Now today he did not. Um, Today was a very big difference for
Yeah.
Logano. Logano qualified on pole today and finished dead
Yep.
last 36th.
Unfortunately, because didn't he get like taken out?
No, his car was running so poorly, and he ended up spinning it out through the infield, which prematurely ended his day after only 183 laps completed, and only the first 9 laps of the race led. Him and his teammate Ryan Blaney at Penske, both of whom struggled just massively all day long. Ryan Blaney ended up finally getting back to 13th. He was one of only, what was it? Where is it at here? Yeah, he was one of 13th out of 18 on the lead lap.
Yeah.
So half the other people were off the lead lap. First one down was Eric Jones in the 43. He was involved in an accident, but was able to keep going.
Yeah, I saw the incident with Joey Logano.
Yeah,
He actually got air.
Yeah, a little bit. It was. I think he was
From the
involved with
infield.
that, but I don't think it was intentional because I mean, Logano had pushed up the track a couple times and tapped
Yeah.
the wall already. His car was out of control. It was just not driving well, and I think that was. I think he was suffering for that. Josh Berry actually, sure he finished 2 laps down, but a 29th place position after only like his second start in the Cup car, and it not even being his actual car, he filling in for Chase Elliott. I felt like
Yep.
he did good considering he beat the likes of Noah Gragson, B.J. McLeod, J.J. Yaley, Ty Dillon. He
Yep.
even beat Logano because Logano. I mean, at least he finished. But
Yeah.
seriously,
I mean, the thing with NASCAR is you really can't predict who's going to win because literally the top 3 are all Hendrick Motorsports cars.
yeah, Hendrick had a strong showing today in what was, let's be real, a really quiet race. I was
Yeah.
listening to this on the Performance Racing Network on the radio while I was outside cleaning up my outside room in my garage here at my house because my place was a mess and I couldn't take it anymore. And I had to get something done on such a nice day. So I went outside, turned on my radio, and I listened to the race. It was seriously drop the green flag, start the race. One set of green flag pit stops, stage 1 caution. Like, wow,
Wow.
that was uneventful. They literally just drove for 80 laps and called it a day. Hey, thank you. All right, well, that's going to be that. In just a moment, I have somebody who's clearly got no kind
Yeah.
of... Good grief. What's wrong with people?
Yeah.
I hate people. Apparently somebody has a compensation problem and is clearly not secure with themselves. So you can kindly screw off of my stream. We don't need people like you in this community. And that's all I have to say about that. But yeah, so that was what was it? Stage 1. Stage 2 immediately turns around,
Yeah.
and it's the same exact thing. Drop the green flag, stage 2, set a green flag, pit stops, stage 2 caution, end of race. Like, really? That was it? Like,
Yeah.
not even anybody like spinning out or any blown tires, like not even like any freak mechanical failures or engine blowing up or anything. Literally just all 36 cars still running, some of them a lap down or two or whatever at this point. That was it. Like, man, this is like the quietest race ever. And then there were a couple of spins, including Logano's in stage 3, including one right at the end. But that was really it. There were like, what was it, 4 or 5 cautions all day, and 2 of them were stage cautions.
Yeah.
Like, that's about as quiet as it gets for a NASCAR race. You don't see a NASCAR race go almost cautionless for the whole thing. Like, seriously, I think it was Logano's and what was that other one that had a problem? Eric Almirola was the other one who spun out.
Mm-hmm.
And he managed to finish on the lead lap despite that. Like, he actually beat Brad Keselowski and AJ Allmendinger and Corey LaJoie. And Brad Keselowski and AJ Allmendinger were on the lead lap. He wasn't even the last one on the lead lap, and he was the one who caused the last caution.
Yeah.
Like, that's impressive when the race is that quiet. It's like there's just not much going on there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, that's been about all there was in NASCAR news, I think. We have 3 winners this year, being Ricky Stenhouse, William Byron, and, of course, Kyle Busch. But no surprise there. It's Kyle Busch at Auto Club. They used to call him 2 Mile Kyle, so he's kind of got a thing for those 2-mile tracks. I will be watching for him in the old, when it comes to, that, Michigan and stuff. I will be watching for him on that one, so.
Yeah.
So I know you have to get to bed, so I think I've covered everything I want to. If you have,
Yeah.
cool. I will go ahead and call it a night here as well for the podcast. I was going to play some Overwatch, but you know what? Honestly, I'm tired enough. I think I'm just going to go call it a night and go to bed, and I will probably be back on tomorrow night then. So I need to give my PC a rest anyways. I'm not even playing a game, and it's dropping frames. I don't know what's up. So. But yeah, have a great night. Thanks, J-Mac. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you again, Sadie, for the raid. We will be back hopefully again next week. I don't have anything going on next week, so I should be good on Saturday. My bike sold. No more interruptions. I think I'm good for a bit now. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Everybody have a great evening. My name's Soji, and I'm out here. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
See ya.